So just the other day, I was in a coaching session with a millennial where we spent a lot of time discussing his personal purpose. Deep in the heart of every person is a profound desire to answer questions like, who am I? Why am I here? What was I actually born to do? There's a purpose that pulsates in the heart of every human being on this planet. Now, we can suppress it, we can deny it, we can misdirect it, but I'll tell you what, we can't eliminate it. Purpose answers the question of, why were you born? Now, the fact that this coaching conversation happened to be with a millennial is not a reflection in any way of millennials as a whole. As a matter of fact, I've had the same conversation with senior citizens, with baby boomers, and with lots of members of Generation X countless times. In my view, millennials, the generation who were born roughly between 1980 and 2000, they get a bit of a bad rap today. Baby boomers took over the workforce when they came of age, and they made a huge impact. So it's not a surprise that they raised their children to do the same. Millennials are streaming into the boardrooms and cubicles and co-work locations of the corporate world, and some baby boomer managers and leaders have responded with negativity and labels rather than support and empowerment. Here are 7 traits of millennials that every coach and leader, I think, should keep in mind. Number 1 is alignment. For many millennials, the concept of work-life balance is a lie. They feel like the corporate world seeks to make you trade a job you hate for good pay and vacations. Millennials believe in work-life alignment and aligning their life passion with their career interests. This speaks to how practical I think millennials are, because really, who wants to spend 50 to 70 hours a week of their life investing in something that they don't believe in? The second thing about millennials is they have entrepreneurial drive. I mean, millennials figured out early that big corporations and government don't really have their back, and so they tend to think outside of traditional schedules and secure pensions. They're risk takers, often interested in trying new things, and often open to innovation and even to disruption. The next thing I found about millennials is what I call a mission and a project focus. The endless grind does not work for most millennials. Millennials come to work and they seek to build their work life in blocks or projects. They want a clear objective over an understood time frame and solid deliverables. And when they achieve it, it's a notch in their belt that in their mind will open up all kinds of future opportunities. The next thing I've noticed about millennials is inclusivity. I mean, millennials are capitalists in the truest sense of the word. Everything and everyone is put up against the lens of adding value. Millennials don't evaluate based on time, but adding value. They seek to create space and open up opportunity for all, regardless of skin color, ethnicity, sexual orientation, or religious background. I mean, they are incredibly inclusive. What they really look at is not, the color of your skin or the letters behind your name, but they look at the value that you add. The next thing I found about millennials is loyalty. Millennials are extremely loyal. Millennials have more information at their fingertips than any other generation in history. And so they make their commitments based on a whole and authentic picture. The difference is that millennial loyalty is not blind loyalty. And the next thing I've noticed about millennials is freedom. Millennials feel that if you learn something new that you're strongly interested in, why not chase it? Life is short, and most millennials aren't interested in putting in 10 years at a job just because they think it will make their resume looks better. Now, the other thing I've noticed about millennials is that passion and purpose are non-negotiable. Millennials chase happiness, and for millennials, happiness is found in the search for passion and meaning. This is something most millennials have a deep understanding of. Now, in fairness, the question of passion and purpose is not that much different for any of us. There's a purpose that pulsates in the heart of every human being on this planet. We can suppress it, we can deny it, we can misdirect it, but we cannot eliminate it. Purpose answers the question, why were you born? So, why do we need a purpose? I think purpose, number 1, captivates our heart, our attention, and our focus. Without a clear sense of our purpose, we will not reach our full potential. The laser beam of clear purpose inspires us to clear out the clutter and live a disciplined life. The tragedy is that many who don't reach their full potential don't reach it because they invest too much time in areas where they have the least potential. If we really want to make a lasting impact, then we need to eliminate what we do well for the sake of what we can possibly do best. If you chase 2 rabbits, both will escape. The next thing I found about purpose is that purpose creates. One seed of purpose on the inside of your heart contains the power of creation itself. Within one seed is enough life to plant a forest, grow a farm, and feed a community. Within the seed of our personal purpose is enough to create rich and lasting fruit for ourselves, our families, and all those we care about. The next thing I've discovered is that purpose calls. Purpose can call us to something higher than ourselves. Sadly, some of us have been conditioned to believe the lie that it's all about me. Purpose calls us to a higher way of living, not limited by a me-centric mentality. George Bernard Shaw wrote, "This is the true joy of life, being used up for a purpose recognized by yourself as a mighty one, being a force of nature instead of a feverish, selfish little clot of ailments and grievances, complaining that the world will not devote itself to making you happy." I'll tell you what, purpose does that for you. But not only does it do that, purpose clarifies. Purpose is a wonderful thing, but because it becomes an internal GPS, a built-in guidance system that clarifies a path for you to follow. I'll tell you what, without that guidance, often we just wander aimlessly. Next, purpose connects. An amazing thing happens to us on the way to fulfilling our purpose. We find others who are headed in the same direction and meet up for the ride. Purpose connects us to the world around us and draws us away from a place of loneliness and isolation. The only thing more satisfying than living a life of purpose is doing so with other people. Next, purpose completes. People who are in hot pursuit of their purpose are generally happier and they're more complete than those who simply drift along. I can tell you this, miserable people often are those who don't have something beyond themselves to live for. People who don't fulfill their purpose in life generally live with regret. They knew inside that they had more than they reveal. So, how do we discover our personal purpose? Let me just give you a few simple keys. Number one is passion. What do you have a passion for? Your passion will determine your purpose. Number two, ability. What do you do well? Number three, personality. In what ways do you feel that you fit? And then number four, opportunity. Where are the doors opening in your life? Number five, relationships. Where is there synergy and resonance with people around you? Now, you might be a millennial, you might be part of Gen X, you might be a boomer, you might be a senior, you might be a teenager. In the end, we're all just people looking for purpose, seeking to make a difference. Clarify your purpose and embrace it. This is your place of the greatest power and productivity in your life. Jim Rohn said this, "The big challenge is to become all that you have the possibility of becoming. And the way that we do that is by finding and fulfilling our personal purpose." Go for it.